You know what? I'm about to say it. Okay. So, I
don't like these products. What's up everybody? So today I'm back doing another video. Today it's something a little different. As of late I've just been doing a lot of voiceover tutorials. Today I am doing a full face full of products I hate. Some of these products I do genuinely hate. Some products just were a lot more disappointing. Keep in mind these products just didn't work out for me, and everyone has their different tastes, and don't drag me just because I don't like your favorite product. So before I get into the makeup, the first product I'm going to go in with is the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. I know there's a lot of hype around this. I don't actually understand why. I think the bottle's cute. Mario Badescu overall as a brand has like cute packaging. But as far as being nourishing or hydrating, it doesn't do any of that for me. It's really just like, this would be good for somebody who wanted like their powders to melt in with their skin, but it's definitely not gonna do anything to really help your skin. This was just pretty underwhelming. So now I'm going in with the Milk Blurring Stick. This blurring stick was very buzzed about, and I actually got it on like pre-order before it launched to the public. I saw this on Thomas Halbert's channel, and I thought it was really appealing because it has no silicone. It's supposed to mattify the skin, prime for makeup, minimize pores, blur imperfections. But after using this, I just found any difference it made in my skin to be so slight that it was just insignificant and not worth using. It definitely doesn't do anything for my texture that's anything special. It definitely doesn't blur out imperfections any more than any other mattifying primer, and I gotta say, every time I apply it in my fine lines, it kind of just feels dry. But yeah, this was just disappointing. I can't return it or anything, so I'm gonna deal with it and try to get more use out of it, but it definitely isn't something I'd recommend to anyone at all. Now the next disappointing product I'm going in with is the Revlon Colorstay Brow Pencil in dark brown. I saw Tati do a video about her favorite drugstore brow products, and for me, as far as brow pencils go, I'm not willing to spend more than like $10 on one just because they go so quickly, and when it comes down to it, pencils are not like long wearing or anything, so it's not really worth the high price tag. So my issue with this is that when you apply it, it looks like it builds on top of each other. It kind of gets chunky instead of like building pigmentation, you know? It doesn't really build up the way I want it to, like a Brow Wiz would, or even like a ColourPop brow pencil. So I actually wiped off my brow and like did it over again, because this stuff, when you blend it out too much, it just gets really muddled. Since it's so thick, it just smears around instead of blending out and dispersing. It really is the feel of like a crayon or something a little bit more waxy and thick. So yeah, it's a challenge to work with, especially when you don't have a necessarily like clean brow shape. So the Revlon Colorstay Brow Pencil was just disappointing to me. I would definitely not recommend it or repurchase it. It's just not the right color or consistency for what I want in a brow pencil. So as for the skin, I think I'm going to make a cocktail of products I don't really like. Each of them I don't like for varying reasons. The first product I'm going to be talking about is the Milani Conceal and Perfect in the shade 09 Tan. This is one of those foundation ranges that goes from, you know, pale to orange. Does not go brown. I did buy this, I believe, when it first came out, so maybe things have changed. Maybe Milani has, you know, opened their eyes and recognized that people of color are not orange. I don't really know, but at the time of when I purchased this, this was the darkest shade, which is pretty outrageous. And the next disappointing foundation I have is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. Now, I tried this out when it came out like a year and a half ago, and I wore it for a while, and I didn't realize how drying it was on my skin. At the time, I believed that since I had oily skin, I had to use like soul-sucking dry products on my face, so I didn't really realize how crusty this kind of looked on my skin. I tried this out again a couple months ago. I didn't find it as severely drying, so maybe my skin has changed a little. But this for me was just like so dry that I just couldn't work with it. So I'm gonna take, she's a little bit pale. I look like Amethyst Kelly. So I think I'll just move on from here. Now that the foundation is making me look like this, I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Better Skin Concealer. I heard a lot of people talk about this, and I was in the need of a drugstore concealer, and I really love Maybelline skin products, and just overall their brand really comes through. But this I used in my first tutorial ever, but it's actually really patchy. So I'm gonna highlight with this. It's certainly not like awful, but I definitely don't like something to look patchy all up around my face. You gotta work more to get the coverage you want, and you know, there's just no need when there's stuff that works better. So now I highlighted everywhere, and I look even more like the Babadook. I'm gonna go in with my Glossier Topaz Dew Effect highlighter. This is straight up just like a balm. It's not even like a pigmented highlight. I guess I'll apply it all over my face because I hate myself. I get that Glossier wants to go for, you know, the natural girl. It's supposed to be like simplistic beauty. I don't see the issue with having like a pigmented highlighter. This is just a shame. Okay, so I have it all over my face, and it's not ugly, but it really has no pigmentation. Now I'm going in with the Most Ashy powder. It's the Coty Airspun powder. I started using the Coty Airspun as soon as I saw and discovered Patrick Starr. He's brown, so I thought it would work out for me, but the way he applies it is he applies the translucent powder, and then he goes in with a pigmented powder foundation that matches his skin. So it's a little different than just using the translucent powder over top your foundation and then just calling it a day. So when I go to apply this as a translucent powder, it pales me out and it's just ugly. I still use it majority of the time because I don't have that Laura Mercier money. Gotta do with what you got. But I definitely don't recommend this powder for anyone unless you're really white, because it just doesn't look good. Now I guess I'll go into highlights since I kind of avoided setting those areas. There are a couple highlights I have. First I have a Galactic Face Glow Natural highlight. I don't know, maybe the shade's natural, but it looks like this. The next highlight I have is Moonlight Pearls from e.l.f. And I've heard a lot of things about e.l.f. You know, there's so many hidden gems in their line. Which honestly I haven't really gotten into their makeup at all. I've used a couple of their brushes, which I like a lot, but as far as like the makeup products, not really, because I don't know what to grab. There's so many things in their collection, but here's this highlight, and it's extremely dry. Like, can you hear that? So I guess on my cheeks I'll go in with the Galactic one. There's a Galactic powder. Like, when I look in the mirror, I really see nothing. Maybe if you don't want people to tell you're really wearing makeup, this would be a good option for you, but it's not doing enough. And now I'm going to highlight my nose with the e.l.f. one, and I'll take out my Cupid's bow on my chin. Again, it's not bad. It's It's just damn powdery. Maybe if the texture of the powder was better. Cause the shade is kind of pretty if you see it on my nose. Now to add my blush, I'm gonna use a Tarte blush in the shade Exposed. Now, every time I use this, it really doesn't show up. I've heard a lot of great things about Tarte blushes. I know they've had like really cool palettes. It doesn't do a whole lot for me. Maybe now that I have a brand new pale complexion, this will look a little better, but we'll see. So there, it's doing a little something, but for like a Tarte blush, they're a little bit more pricey. I can get really nice blushes from NYX in a whole palette for like $20, so it's not really worth the splurge in my opinion. But okay, it is more pigmented than I expected, but again, this product is expensive. So now to contour bronze, I'm gonna go in with these powders from the NYX contour kit. Again, these are not bad powders. They're pretty pigmented and they're really blendable, but just they're kind of warm for contours, and when it comes to like contouring, that's not really what I want. The shades are kind of awkward for me, so it's just not my favorite. But again, regardless of what I really think of a product, if I have it, I'll probably make use out of it. I guess if you're a little bit warmer complected, maybe these would work really well as bronzers. But not me, they just don't look right. And these to contour the nose, again, they're kind of the wrong undertone. When you're contouring, you want something cooler, and these just are not it. So I did the nose contour. This looks very much a face I'd be into like a couple years ago, dark times. Now I'm actually gonna go on to the lips. I'm gonna be using the ColourPop lip pencils, and just overall their lip pencils are cheap, which, you know, I would make them work, but they break. Like every single one I have has broken. They just break from the little base of the pencil, and they're not like wooden, so they're just overall not worth it. I'd rather get Rimmel pencils. I'm gonna be going in with the color Creature. Now that I'm using it, another thing I don't like about this lip pencil is that when you go to, like, again, perfect the shape, it kind of layers in certain areas and it doesn't meld well with itself. Like, if you can see, it's just patchy. And I know these are cheap, but it shouldn't be this patchy. So this look actually doesn't look too bad from far away. Now I'm going in with the Amore Matte Lip Cream from Milani in the shade Sugar. And this is like, looks like a beautiful, like deep liquid lipstick. I've heard a lot of good things about the Milani lipsticks, especially the metallic ones. This is just like the plain old matte. But the first couple times I applied it, it was so patchy. It was just bad, and I like immediately regretted purchasing it. When you apply it, it is so dry and patchy, and so when you go to touch it up in certain areas, it gets thicker, and then it gets shinier as you apply more. It's just really bad. It actually reminds me a lot of the Kylie Cosmetics Gorge liquid lipstick. So this could double as how I did my makeup in high school, because this was pretty much it. So I'm gonna let this dry a little more, but as you can see, I didn't even apply 2 whole layers. It was probably like 1 layer and a quarter I dipped back just to touch up the top lip a little bit, but it is incredibly patchy. Even though I have a lip liner underneath, that's bad. I look like that scary video that was like a commercial of the guy eating yogurt out of his head. honestly, since like this look is going in a great direction, I can't be bothered to go in with my like eyeshadow that I hate, but I'm gonna get lots of thumbs down for this. I don't like the Morphe 35B. The best shadows in here are like the pinks, and the rest are so-so at best. They stain like a bitch, my god. They stain so bad, and they just lack pigmentation. They're chalky and dry, and I know they are inexpensive, but truthfully you can find bright eyeshadow from a lot of brands and they'll be inexpensive. Like for example, you can find, this is piecing off, palettes from like BH Cosmetics, from Coastal Scents, from Wet n Wild, from NYX. So I mean, you're not confined to Morphe. I know that Morphe is very popular, but truthfully this palette really is kind of garbage. I don't like it, but I'll still use it because I have it. But another disappointing product is this Maybelline Color Tattoo in this beautiful silver. I bought it because I wanted to do my New Year's look with it, and I've heard a lot about the color tattoos, that they're really pigmented, but this was a new release from Maybelline around November, December. So I tried it out, and if you see, it is not opaque. It is sheer. You can see my skin through it. I'm going to try to build this up to be like opaque on my lids, and I'm just going to go like for like something crazy. I'm not going to blend it out or anything. Here is that chrome eye tattoo. I had hope for it that maybe if I built it up and kept my eyes shut it wouldn't crease, but nope, it certainly creased, and it's very thick. So I just finished up the mascara, and with that, that's my full face of products I hate. Hopefully you guys found it informational and it helped you guys out. Maybe if you were wondering about some of these products, or you know, I don't know, you just want to hear me complain. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. It helps me a lot. And don't forget to let me know in the comments if there's any videos that you'd like me to do that are a little bit shorter in length, like maybe favorite lipsticks or whatever it is. I'd love to know. And I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you guys next time.